I love the distinctly innocent and pure sense of untarnished joy that comes with the brilliantly wide-open eyes of being young. When I came to college, I thought that this is where I would find my path. This is where I will become acquainted with everything I want from life, and this is where I will begin the pursuit of my dreams. I enjoy art, and I enjoy problem solving. Would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here? Well, that depends a good deal on where you want to get to. I don't much care where. Then it doesn't much matter which way you go. So long as I get somewhere. Oh, you're sure to do that. If only you walk long enough. So I began as an open option major with the intent to follow my aptitude for math and art. I had absolutely no idea where this would take me. I knew that I didn't have any desire to go through art school and wind up a starving artist whose passion for artistic life is enough to get them through, because I don't think mine is. I knew I didn't want to go out and become an engineer or mathematician whose whole life revolves around practicality and methodical reasoning, because that just sounds boring. I didn't fit into either of these roles completely. I found myself in the middle of the semester with an overly difficult homework due in Calc 3 and an art critique on the very same day. I was always walking from the engineering center to the art building. I don't know if it's just me, but I've noticed the closer you get to the engineering center, the thicker the air gets. It's like walking into a dome of stress that gently disperses into a carefree spring afternoon the closer you get to the visual arts center. I love escapism. Growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. I realized that in my free time, however rarely it came along, I absolutely loved to lose myself. All I wanted was to curl up, read Harry Potter, and watch Howl's Moving Castle or Monsters, Inc. I would dream of vacations to Disney World and love nothing more than to sit and watch cartoons with my 3-year-old cousin. I realized that my efforts in math and art weren't reaching that passion. I felt like there was this big, fat void staring at me from my future. But then, Pixar. Listen to the mustn'ts, child. Listen to the don'ts. Listen to the shouldn'ts, the impossibles, the won'ts. Listen to the never-haves, then listen close to me. Anything can happen, child. Anything can be. One day I was browsing my Netflix, looking for some quality procrastination, when I found the Pixar Story. I figured, who doesn't love a good documentary, especially one about Toy Story and Ratatouille? So I started it and realized I was riveted, completely riveted from the very opening scene. I suppose it could have just been a great documentary doing its job, but it felt like more. It warms my heart and closes my throat every time I watch it. Right then and there, before I ever attempted any type of animation or had ever used any form of artistic software, I decided what I wanted to do. So that's what I did. I declared myself as a studio art major and applied to be transferred into the computer science program over in engineering. It felt right, daunting, but right. I knew that this goal was a little too ambitious and that the next handful of years would be hard. Being an engineer, you are essentially expected to live in the engineering center. It's prestigious for a reason, I guess, and to compete with your classmates, you have to dedicate your life to learning. Art majors, with such drastically different outcomes, embed that same amount of effort and time into their craft. But you can't underestimate devotion. It was the beautiful epiphany that brought me to where I am today. I don't sleep much, and on top of work and school, I have no free time. But it's what I want. Don't cry to give up. Cry to keep going.